Hi, family. Happy Saturday. Hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Self Care Saturday. We're going to give everybody a minute just to come on in. I hope everybody is doing well today. Hello, hello. As you come on in, say hi to me in the chat so I know you're here. Oh, look at the Rainies here on time. Hello, Rainies. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right, we're going to give everybody a minute and then we're going to hop right on in here. If you are just joining in, throw your name in the chat, say hello so I know that you are here with me. It's Self Care Saturday. It's one of my favorite days of the week. Although these days, self care is a 7-day, 365. Hey, Tanya. Today, our topic is go ahead and live. Go ahead and live. Yes. All right. It is officially 3:02. So I'm going to jump on in here. Hello, family. I am Dr. Kelly, your board certified internal medicine physician, speaker, and patient care advocate. Through my programs, I help patients become better educated consumers to improve their healthcare outcomes. Please like and share this video. Somebody on your timeline, somebody on your job, somebody in your life needs this information. So thank you in advance for liking and sharing. Come on in the room, family. This one is personal. This today is personal, and I hope that it resonates with you. So our topic today is go ahead and live. Go ahead and live. And so what made me decide that this was what I was going to talk about today is just recent events, right? I mean, I guess we could take 2020 as a whole as an example of why we need to go ahead and live. But I mean, there's just so much going on in our world right now. I mean, let's just put aside that there's a pandemic going on. Let's throw that to the side. But every other week, Black and brown bodies are being brutalized in this country, as they have been for the last 400 plus years. So that's nothing new under the sun. But, I think all of us are just tired of seeing our brothers and sisters killed in front of us, just in front of us, like it's nothing. Um, there's just a lot going on. People dying, young, without, I mean, I'm tongue tied. I don't even know what to say. I guess when you have a child, you never think, okay, they're going to live to be 42 or 43. We just expect to live this long life. We expect to be here until we're 70 or 80 years old. And the reality of the situation is that's not always the case. And so, as troubling as it can be, as hard as a pill as that is to swallow, it's the truth, it's the facts. None of us know our appointed time when our final chapter ends, and I think we're probably better off for not knowing. But to that end, um, we got to live. We got to live right now, because um, Tamir Rice went outside to play. His family had no idea that'd be his last time. Philando Castile was riding around in his car with his family. I'm sure he had no idea that was the last time. Uh, Sandra Bland was driving in her car. I'm sure she had no idea that that was the last police stop she would have. Um, it. George Floyd went to a convenience store. Probably had no idea it was his last errand. Um, It's just insanity. And none of us in our, on our daily lives think, oh yeah, we're going to get diagnosed with cancer in our 30s or 40s, right? I mean, that's just not something that's a part of our process. And quite frankly, in our culture, we spend so much time on birth and on having a baby. I mean, you plan and plan and plan, and there's a baby shower and, all these different things, but we don't really address death, and we don't talk about it like it's inevitable. We talk about it like, we're ducking and dodging raindrops. And, I think a lot of times we're just ill prepared at any age, but certainly for somebody in their 40s. Kobe Bryant probably hopped in that helicopter, taking his child and some of her teammates to practice every week, multiple times a week. I'm sure that day he didn't know that would be the last time. And I'm sure he certainly wouldn't have put his daughter at risk had he known, right? So, I mean, just think about the casual things that we do every single day, not knowing or not believing that it's going to be our last time to do it. And so that's why today I want to talk about go ahead and live. Live your life to the fullest. Take chances, take risks, do whatever it is that you want to do, and do it unapologetically. Do it um, fully expecting to succeed. And then at the same time, perfectly okay if you fail, because either way, there's a lesson in that experience. And there's something um, that it says about you that you even tried, right? And so, one thing that I try in my life to do is live without regret. I really think that regret is a wasted emotion, because there's nothing you can do about it. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. So, I really try to do things purposely. And intentionally expecting the best result, expecting to get what I want out of the situation. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but at the end of the day, I don't ever want to look back and say, man, I should have done X, Y, Z. And I certainly don't want to be 60 or 70 or 80 and be like, man, when I was 40, I should have. Nah, that's not living, that's existing. And I don't want my story to be written like that. I want, to be in a place where no matter how my story ends, that I'm happy with the choices I made, that I am proud of, how my journey ended, whatever that may be. Sometimes I'm going to slip and fall. Um, Sometimes it's going to be graceful, sometimes it might be ugly, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with that choice. So, the first thing that I think is really important is to live your life. Live your life, not your mama's life, not what somebody else thinks you should be doing. Do what makes you happy, do what fulfills you. Because again, no day, nothing is promised to us, not another opportunity is promised to us. The second thing I want to talk about is just being delivered from public opinion. I feel like that's a word in and of itself. Be delivered from public opinion. And that means I don't care what people have to say. I don't care whether you like it, whether you fall out and have a fit in the floor. It doesn't matter. I'm living my life and I'm going to do it judgment free. I'm going to do it without worrying about what this person's going to say about it, if this person's going to like it. None of that even matters. Did you like it? Did it work for you? And if it didn't, then that's between you, yourself, and you to work out and figure out how you can do things differently. But at the end of the day, nobody else can live this life for you. And nobody else can put their expectations on your life. Nobody has your purpose. Nobody else has your calling. Nobody else has your gifting. And so living by the other people's rules, other people's expectations, that's just nonsense. It's crazy. Because at the end of the day, you're going to look back and you're going to have some regrets and you're going to say, man, I should have done it this way. I should have done it that way. And that's what's most disappointing, I feel, is not that you didn't make a choice, but that you didn't make a choice because of someone else, or you didn't make a choice because you were afraid of being judged about that choice. I think that's the saddest part about that, about regret. If you didn't make that choice strictly based on your mental state, on what you thought was going to serve you best, because those people go on, live their lives, they're going to judge you either way. Whether you go left, there's going to be somebody who has something to say about that, or whether you go right. Um, so again, live your life your way, without apology. And I just think that's just the best way to be. Hey, Tara. Hey, Kim, long time. Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. Hello. Um, so for those of you who are kind of just joining us, just jumping in here, please say hello and in the chat so I know that you're here. I can see that there's a lot of people watching, but I can't tell who's who. So make sure you say hello so I can shout you out. And today on Self Care Saturday, we are just talking about go ahead and live. There, to me, there is just really no better way to promote self and to live, and be healthy and be mentally sound. Hey, cousin Lorraine, to be in your best, to be your best self, to live your best life. Um, what else is there? What else says self-care like living your best life? The way you see fit, the way you see fit. The haters are gonna hate it, and the people who support you and love you are gonna ride with you no matter what, no matter what the outcome is. Um, and then one of the other things I wanted to say was go ahead and do it. And only you can fill in the blank as to what the it is. Whether that's go ahead, take the trip, go, just go. Don't worry about the rest. Do it. Whether that's start the business. You have something that God gave you, um, an idea, a vision, whatever it is, do it. Stop waiting for some other time. And like I said, if 2020 hasn't taught us anything, it has taught us that time doesn't necessarily guarantee different results. It doesn't necessarily make your opportunity any more easier. It doesn't make it easier to obtain. We were back in January, and I said, "Oh," I had a bad feeling about how this year was going off the rails already in my life. And I was like, I don't know about this. And people were like, oh, it's early. Hang in there. It's only the first quarter. And then this is before COVID. And then COVID came in, and I was like, oh, geez. It was just thing after thing after thing after thing. And this year continues to do that. And I've said this before, pandemic aside, and being isolated and all the feelings that go along with that, being by yourself, missing your friends, missing your family, not being able to travel, how many plans we had to cancel, and how, just how our whole plan for 2020 got derailed, right? So if you were sitting in 2019, like, banking on 2020 to be your year to do X, Y, or Z. I don't know how that's working out, right? And by the same token, we're complaining about 2020. There are no guarantees that 2021 is not going to be much of the same. Lord knows, I hope and pray that that is not the case. But we got to start living right now, because we thought 19 wasn't so hot. We had some plans canceled in 2019, that we weren't counting on. And then here comes 2020, and it just wrecked everything. And we all, with bated breath waiting on 2021. And there's no guarantee that 21 is going to be better. Again, I am not at all speaking that it won't be, or, I'm praying against hope that it's better, that it's remarkably better. But again, what if it isn't? What if it isn't? So what if opportunity that you're waiting for? What if um, the opportune time that you're waiting for is right now? It's just kind of like with a depression, right? Millionaires are made in depressions, right? because they make smart moves when everything is in the floor. And then as things improve, that's where they gain, right? So let's consider 2020 our depression. Let's consider that our rock bottom. Now, how are you going to come out of this and soar? Because one thing we do know is that trouble doesn't last always. The depression doesn't last forever. It may feel like forever. It God knows 2020 feels like forever. But this cycle that we're in, that God has ordained for whatever reason, whatever that is, it doesn't last forever. It's going to end eventually. So, how are you prepared to soar after this? How are you setting yourself up right now to live your absolute best life unapologetically, carefree of anybody's judgment, without any regard to how people feel about it? Um, how are you planning to do that? And honestly, I think the time to do that is right now. No time like the present. Because again, we have no idea what the next 6 months looks like, or the next 6 days, honestly, in America looks like. So we got to start being intentional, and thinking that we got to have it all mapped out, and that we got to have it all, figured out, and every angle figured out. Live already. Live. Live. And in the end, when it's all said and done, and it's all over with, what you want people to say about you is that you lived your best life, that you left it all on the table, right? That you didn't hold anything back. Because again, none of us know the day, the time, the hour. And so it's important to embrace these moments while we're in them. And you can take this and apply it to anything, whether that's starting a business, whether that's spending more time with your family, whether that's telling people how you feel while you have the opportunity. Because as we see, being 40 is not a guarantee that you're going to get another decade. God forbid something happens to you. Did you do everything you wanted to do? Did you say everything you wanted to say? You don't have to wait till you're 45 to go plan a big trip, or oh my God, when I turn 50, I'm going to such and such a place, or when I retire, I'm gonna, take that trip to Europe. Honey, you don't know if you're gonna make it to retirement. I suggest as soon as those passports are some good in the U in Europe, in the EU, that you go ahead and go, that you go ahead and go. And by the time you get to retirement, you can worry about something else. You can go again, you can have a different experience, but I admonish you not to wait. Stop putting your life on hold. Stop worrying about what Tom, Dick, and Harry and the Joneses are going to say about your choices. That's between you and yourself and your God, whoever you look to, whatever your source is. If it feels okay to you, if you can live with whatever the consequences are, and obviously it doesn't hurt anybody else, harm anybody else, live your life. The people who are going to stand on the sidelines and judge are going to judge you whether you get out there or whether you stay in your seat. They're going to judge you whether you clap or whether you don't. You can't control those variables. So think about where you want your life to go, where you see yourself, what things you want to accomplish, what is on your list. And we always think about, bucket lists and things like that, things so far in the future. What can you do this week that will bring you fulfillment, that will bring you peace and joy and happiness, and allow you to be authentically you, whatever that is. All of us are in different places in our lives. All of us have different things going on in our lives. But if you're like me, you know, um, I just don't believe in waiting. I don't believe that to go on some fancy trip that it has to be a milestone birthday or anniversary. Mm-mm. Clap for yourself and do what you want to do the way you want to do it. Because not for nothing, tomorrow is not promised. And it's so cliche, but it's so true. We say it all the time. Tomorrow's not promised. Next week is not promised. At the top of me going live, I mentioned so many people who set out, leaving their homes, that never returned, that didn't have any idea that they were not coming back. You know what I'm saying? So did they carelessly or haphazardly leave home and didn't say goodbye to people? Probably, because who does a full, you know, speech and I love you and all these things to people just to go to the grocery store. They probably did. I'm sure there were so many things that were unsaid and so many things that were not done because they're young people, right? So I'm sure there's a whole laundry list of things that they intended to do that day and going forward. So maybe, we can't single-handedly change the circumstances in this country right now, but what we can do and what we do have full control over is ourselves, our lives, our choices. Our power lies in the decisions that we make and deciding that we want to live a certain way. And we're going to do that unapologetically with or without people's cosign. And I think we'll all be happier for doing so. Like I said, not doing things recklessly, obviously, or things that would hurt or harm other people. But I just think a lot of times we care too much about what somebody else is going to say or what the neighbors are going to think or what your mama is going to say about it, or how she's going to feel about it, or this person or that person. If you are living true to yourself and you and your God have discussed it and y'all are clear, that's all you need. And if you can do it with a clear conscience and have no regrets, what else can you ask for? And so, just in light of everything that's been going on, I'm so tired of, my news feed being full of people who died or, you know, tragically killed or, you know, injustice. And I mean, it's a litany of things that I could list. But the end of the day, all of those things bring me back to this one point: live your life. Live your life. And that means as authentically as I want you to live your life, I also want you to let others live theirs. And so, you can't expect everybody to endorse your choices and then you judging everybody else. At the end of the day, you can only drive one car at a time. Drive your car. Get to your destination. Go whichever way you want to go, right? But let others be free to do the same thing. There's just so much freedom and so much peace in making your decisions and living your life unapologetically. Because when it is over, the funeral is over, the ink is dry on the program, everybody else is going to go on and do whatever what it is their regular scheduled program, and they're going to cry for a few days, but life goes on. And so don't live this life waiting for another time or waiting for somebody to approve your choices. So many people waste time, and it's just something that we don't own. It's something that we don't have control over. And so, like I said, with Chadwick Boseman dying yesterday, we lost Kobe this year, both in their early 40s. I'm in my early 40s. Lord knows I am not ready to check out of here. There's a whole lot of stuff that I have on my list to do. But I really, really, really want us to do better with living intentionally. Hey, Sissy. Hey, Lanisa. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Michelle. Thank you, girl, for coming on in here. So if you're just kind of jumping in, my topic today was really just go ahead and live. Go ahead and live. Take the trip, buy the shoes, eat the cake. Do you, because when it's over, it's over. And we don't always get a tap on the shoulder that, oh, yeah, it's coming, right? There's a list of people who intended to go back home, who thought they were going to the grocery store, or, you know, Trayvon Martin was just going to get some Skittles and some iced tea. He never made it home. That, I'm sure, was not his intention, right? If he had known that, he probably would have passed on both, right? So we just don't know. We don't know. We can't control all these folks that we live in this world with. So we got to live so that when our time comes, whether it's premature to others or right on time, however, that's looked at, you want it to have been full of the things that you wanted it to be full of. And you don't want people like, oh my God, and she was just about to, and oh man, she couldn't wait to start her business. And oh man, she was about to, or he was gonna. No, that time is now. Think of 2020 as your hard reset and your permission. If you need permission, Dr. Kelly is giving you permission to live today. Don't wait for things to get better. Don't wait for, you know, this, that, or the other thing to happen, make a plan, get it done, and sit back. And like I said, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, sometimes the things um, work out the way we anticipate, and sometimes they don't. But I tell you, we say this in basketball, and I say that now like I'm still actively playing, right? We know that I've long retired, but we used to say this in basketball all the time: you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? And so let's apply that to life. If you don't shoot the shot, you're gonna miss for sure. We don't even have to think that hard about it. If you don't shoot your shot, you're gonna miss, right? But maybe you shoot that shot and you hit, right? You save the game. Well, that's a game changer for sure. So let's live life in that way, where, oh well, I missed it. Life goes on. I'll do a little different next time. That's how we're supposed to live life. Not on the sidelines, not wishing for another time, not waiting for the stars to align in just this perfect way. Live your life. Live your life, leave a legacy, do something that is just you. It's just about you. It's the only person that needs to co-sign, the only person who needs to be, big up in you is you. Is you. You are your biggest fan. You should be. You should be your biggest fan. And you should be going for all things you. So that's really all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Hey, Tony, thanks for joining me. Yes, yes, do you? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And so, like I said, just with everything going on, sometimes it's hard to not be discouraged and to not get down and out. But let this drive us. I can only stay down for so long, and then I got to turn this into a positive thing, right? So let 2020 be your Great Depression. Let it be where you come out soaring, where you make some sound decisions that changes the course of the rest of your life. Let 2020 be um, the bookmark, where things turn around because you made some choices and you made some decisions that, listen, I've been isolated long enough. I've been in quarantine long enough. I've sat on my dreams long enough. I intend to live my best life starting today. So I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of Self Care Saturday. A special shout out because I think my niece Ocean and my little cousin Nefair are watching. So hey, girls. Um, I just wanted to come on for a little bit and just talk to you guys about that. And please like and share this video. Somebody needs to be encouraged and pushed and nudged. Maybe the Lord has been talking to you about some things, or maybe the Holy Spirit, or in your meditation time, you've been tapped and you just need it to be pushed a little further, or this is confirmation of something you've already heard. Either way, hey, Sora Emily, thanks for joining me. So I just want to encourage your heart, encourage your spirit. These are rough times that we're living in, but it is so great to know that we don't have to do this alone, and that we have other people who are going through the same things, but that we all are going to lift each other up and intend to come out better, stronger, and living unapologetically, not caring how many people co-sign that choice. I think that's empowering. And I think it's the way that we need to live from now on, right? Attack 2020 like it's attacking us, or at least how it's making us feel, right? Attack the rest of this year like you have something to prove and like you're gonna improve your life, your quality of life. I love you guys so much for always look for supporting me, loving me, for sharing my messages. You guys have expanded my business, my brand in a matter of 4 months. It's just crazy. God is amazing. He's awesome. And I couldn't do what I'm doing and all the things I have planned for the rest of this year without you and your support. So thank you. Enjoy the rest of Self Care Saturday. Do something that's for you and only you. Know that you're loved and cared about. And I will see you guys next week. Love you. Mean it. Have a good day.